Okay, so I realized that a lot of people have this weird relationship with the need to solve other people's problem. I was that person too. Whether you told me something and I was able to fix it right then and there, or give you my feedback, suggestion, ideas of what you should possibly do in a situation or circumstance. But honestly, we all need to practice more active listening and asking questions if these people want feedback, or what do they need right now. Like, do you just need somebody to listen to you, get this off your chest? And that process of being heard, of feeling like someone's listening to you, understanding you, may not be in agreement with you, may not have, may have their own ideas about what you're talking about, but they won't use that moment to project their savior complex onto you, and they allow you to decompress, that process all the things that you are experiencing, so that you can get yourself to the next level. Like, everyone is not always looking for a solution. Some people just want to communicate what's going on and have someone safe to talk to and process with, without the pity party, without the feedback, without the solutionist ideal mindset. Just listen to me talk. If you don't have the capacity to listen to me talk, then communicate that. If it's not within your means, your schedule, communicate that. But people as a collective have to learn to not always evoke solutions to other people's problems, not only because your solution and your way of handling something may not work for them, but also because that may not be just what they need or want, and that whole thing could disrupt their growth process and whatever they may do need in order to overcome the challenge, the obstacle, the situation. And that's what I needed today. Like, I need a friend, I need a person, I need to talk to God more, I need to establish a real relationship with my higher power, where I can unleash and release all the pent up energy, all the anger, all the rage. No one's telling me I can't be mad, I can't be angry, I can't be upset, because yes, the fuck I can. First of all, you're not in control of my emotions. You're not responsible for how I feel, even if you contributed to how I feel. How I feel is my responsibility. I'm not even in control of how I feel. It's not like every time someone does this, I feel this every time. It's not. It's mostly triggers. Certain people may get that response out of me. Sometimes I may not even acknowledge that is a problem. Maybe that it didn't bother me today like it bothered me yesterday, because there's other things going on. So no, people need to release their control. And this is me talking to myself, because I also struggle with this too. I tend to want people to fit in my own little mold instead of accepting and respecting them for who they are. So yeah, I feel like people really just need to, self-included, listen for understanding, listen for general support, moral support, and trusting the other individual to figure out how to navigate their own situation respectfully. Like, it's none of it's not your problem. And I feel like often people make everything their problem when they insert solutions that may or may not necessarily help. And so to talk about what I've been needing was like, what works for me is not always even being, you don't need to validate my thinking, my thought process, my reason for doing something or not. But if you can actively listen without judgment, without me feeling like a problem, without me having to worry about certain aspects of the experience, then I can begin to trust myself, and I can begin to work through the problems myself. And that gives me the space to say, wow, this person can listen to me and hear me. Now let me get more information. How would you handle this situation? How would you address this thing? How would you respond to this thing? And oftentimes you build on relationships more, and you begin to develop trust and comfort and all the necessary components to a relationship when you can build on the building blocks instead of always inserting yourself, always imposing. Sometimes people just need you to listen to what they're saying, process it, and accept it for what they are going through. Now, granted, sometimes what people are communicating, because if you're empathetic or if it's something you may have caused or contributed to, you may feel the need to be responsible to making them feel better or providing them with understanding of why you might have done what you done and all of the things. But the reality is they're not even really in control of their emotion. Well, I'm not going to say you're not in control, because you can have better resonance and better processes to help you cope with your ever-changing emotions. But you don't, it's more so like training a muscle. When you feel some type of way, there's not always this immediate shift in understanding of what really is taking place and what probably needs to happen. So gradually, as you begin to work that muscle and you practice, oh, that bothered me today, but it didn't bother me last week. Was I too occupied with something else that was more bothersome, or was I too focused on my gratitude and my happiness that didn't even come into my vibration? Am I a little off my game this week? Am I a bit overwhelmed and at my capacity right now? There are all type of things that contribute to why you may respond differently in similar situations. And people expecting you to always be the same is why mental health is at its all-time high in the United States. Is why people get classified as bipolar, as schizophrenic, as all these diagnoses, because the world wants to be the same. The world wants to be so unified in a way where there is no difference, and there's little difference in people, especially in how we connect, relate, express. It all has to be the same. I'm always happy, so you should be always happy. I'm this, I'm that, so you should be this or that. And that whole idea is so misinformed and not fair to those of us who are more connected. I don't even want to say more connected, I'm just saying, nature doesn't flow like that. The seasons are always changing. There's this wind is blowing right now, right? Some of the trees are moving, their leaves are moving at a faster rate. Other ones are a little bit more stiff. Does that mean the wind still ain't winding? This is the wind. The wind affects those type of trees differently. Some trees have shorter branches. They don't have as much leaf, I don't know. But I was getting to it made sense to me, okay? It made sense. Different type of trees, okay? Different strokes for different folks, okay? So I think that's how we should look at it. People are ever changing. They're not the same. And they're not supposed to be. They're not meant to be. They are allowed to be in process and communicate in a way that works for them. And you don't have to accept it. You don't have to respect it. Those are not your people. If you can't make room for some people or certain things, that's okay. You miss out on them and they miss out on you, right? Or that's how you want to look at it. Or y'all are great in your own respect and just don't vibe. But what comes the problem is when people start to deny parts of themselves to fit in with the majority, to fit in with the status quo, when you were not designed to do that. No one was born, well, there was a few people, but even then, like, some people, y'all, well, no one literally wasn't born same time, same, or besides twins, which still, one has to come before the other. They both can't come out that motherfucking pussy at the same time. But that's neither here nor there. I'm just like processing and realizing that I just need to get my shit out more. I need to talk more. I need to find more coping skills to navigate my reality, and I need to be firmer in my internal boundaries where, like, people wait till you blow up and you're at your capacity when I've been telling you this. I've been saying this. This was the goal from the beginning. Now you're mad and upset and feel betrayed and feel like someone's picking at you or leaving you out of a situation that you forced yourself in when you weren't supposed to do that from the beginning. You had a time frame from the beginning. You had a responsibility from the beginning. And instead of sticking with that, you want to blame. Okay, I'm going to talk about this later. Bye-bye.